What happened in that ceremony was I struggled to find words for how profound it was. It showed me things that there's no way I could have conjured up myself.
The ayahuasca experience is a million sacred moments in the course of a night. They give you perspective. They help you to accept what is and what's been, and they give you a new strength to move forward.
It might be some of the hardest things you'll ever experience in your life, but it's going to be some of the most rewarding moments.
And just trust that there's something bigger, there's something greater that had you even watch this video.
I was lost. I felt out of place. I've always struggled with self-esteem issues, eating disorders, and depression. All my life, I was always kind of molding myself into everything that everyone wanted me to be in order to be accepted and loved, because I feel like I didn't deserve it. When I came here, I guess that's what I was looking for, was to find myself and step into my power and figure out what I'm supposed to do here on Earth, what my role is and my path.
I personally was in a big transition in my life, wrapping up a decade-plus corporate career that was not satisfying, moving to a new town, diving deeper into a new romantic partnership, and just feeling like I was at this point of meaningful transition, but also recognizing I was a beginner in everything I was doing, and also recognizing this need for healing and this need for going more intensely down my spiritual path. Not that I was struggling too much, but I keep coming back to this notion that you don't have to be sick to get better.
I came here probably at my lowest. I've been burned out, lost, and didn't recognize myself anymore, very angry. You know, the more you go into this tunnel, the more deeper you go because you don't have any tools to pull you out. And I came with this huge hope that something will change because it's impossible to find anything else.
I've spent time in therapy, but it's not been nowhere near as transformational as what I've received here. The other therapy that I had didn't really hit the areas in my life which I was struggling with, which was inner child issues, abandonment, self-worth, not feeling unconditional love, and struggling through life in relationships and a broken heart in my life many times, to be honest with you.
I first heard about ayahuasca when I was in university. I read about the medicine and what it can do, but it always seemed like a very far away goal. I didn't think that I'd ever get the opportunity to actually try it. But it stayed in the back of my mind over the years, and I started, here and there I'd read a bit more about it and what it can do. I started meeting people who'd actually done it, and I realized that it was feasible, it was attainable, and I started to realize, this is the call I'm being called.
I'd first heard about ayahuasca maybe 10 years ago and initially just brushed it off because I just thought, well, take something that makes you, I don't know, lose your mind or something. But looking back now, it seems as though ayahuasca was gently saying, come on, if you want to know the things you want to know, you have to experience me. And more so in the last kind of 6-8 months, it was saying, Tommy, it's time to come down here. So, people talk about getting a calling from ayahuasca, and I understand that to the novice or to someone that hasn't experienced ayahuasca, I used to sit and watch these videos and think, really? A calling? How do you get a calling? But one way or another you do. You may hear about it here, you may read about it there, but if that strikes something in you, that is something saying, come and experience this.
Once I got here, and even going into this, I knew that it would be a slim chance that I would see anyone that was like me. And I didn't let that stop me. I don't know anyone in my community, in my neighborhood, that's done ayahuasca personally, and I could have let that stop me. I could have let a lot of things stop me, but the calling was so strong that I couldn't. Before you knew it, I was booking a reservation, the plane flight, a backpack. I've never owned a backpack before, so that was totally out of character for me. I couldn't even imagine how I was going to make it here, and that was another fear of mine, am I strong enough to make the journey? Mother Ayahuasca made it so easy for me to get here. It was just like a door was open.
Going into the third ceremony I was open and I was ready, and I got the biggest lesson that has ever been taught to me. To use the word profound doesn't even come close. It revolutionized my self-concept. It showed me what I was doing to myself over and over and over again. I felt sick and I could feel this medicine working through me, and it was speaking to me, and it was showing me this is what you do when you hold on to the past, and when you are not willing to let go, you make yourself sick. You repeat patterns and nothing changes. As long as you don't let go of the past, nothing changes, and you make yourself sick. And with that realization, a monumental release happened. I released trauma, I released pain, I released grief. And this is stuff that I had been working on for years. I've been in therapy since I was 18. I've tried yoga, I've done meditation, I've done it all. No words could have released this the way this medicine released from my body. It was not cerebral. It was not something that I was in control of. It was happening on a very visceral, physical level. Once I let go of that, and once I released, I felt like I was floating. I honestly felt my hands float up above my body, and all I could hear myself saying was, I can heal myself. I can heal myself. And this was showing me that I have the tools within myself to heal myself and release my own pain. I could have walked away after that ceremony and lived the rest of my life in pure bliss. We had another ceremony to go, and there was no way I was going to stop after that experience. And so I went even deeper in the fourth ceremony. When the Icaros, when every time they start, that's when the healing starts for me. It just is incredible. Every time the shaman come in front of me, both of them, I felt like from every single pore, fear came out. Everything that didn't serve me came out. The lack of trust came out. Physically, I felt how it's leaving the body. It was unbelievable. I felt through my head, through my face, like they were literally taking everything out from me, and just once again showing me that it's magic, and that the intention is there, and if the intention is there, then it's going to happen.
This is not at all easy work. In fact, it's extraordinarily difficult work. It forces you to face demons, not just gain insight, but it forces you to look in yourself to what needs to be done to change yourself. And I don't believe that ayahuasca changes you. It almost forces you to either decide, do I want to change or don't I? It looks you right in the face and challenges you to do that. And the first night I certainly realized that. Getting through it though showed me how beautiful life could be. I don't think you can realize that without dying. At least part of you needs to die before you can fully appreciate what it is that we have here on earth in the limited time that we have.
I was so burdened from 30 years of nursing and taking on everyone else's problems and concerns, and every day I would go to work and I was constantly giving of myself to my family, to my friends. And then as much as I tried, I never really took the time to replenish myself. When I went through one of my ceremonies, Mother Ayahuasca said, I'm going to remove this burden from you. And the first thing that came to my mind is I didn't even know who I was without all of that burden and stress. And now that it's over, now I see who was hiding, like who was behind all of those layers.
The medicine really helped me meet myself where I am now. I feel like I'm not stuck in what had happened to me or what's going to happen to me. I let go of a lot of fear. I was so scared of everything. And I had to be for a really long time, but sort of these old patterns that were keeping me safe for a really long time just weren't serving me anymore. And I needed to be kind of like ripped out of it. And it happened in the most beautiful way. I would say the biggest takeaway for me is that healing doesn't happen in isolation. And I was trying to make that happen for a really long time. Healing happens in communion with everything, with everyone.
I realized that like a lot of life, if you just start to take it moment by moment, then you're never gonna get trapped in this hole of, I need to do this, I need to do that. Society tells you these preconceived ideas that you have to do this is like your career path, this is the perfect way to do X, Y, and Z because somebody else has done it that way. That doesn't necessarily mean it's your path. And I felt at that point, I went through all of the different emotions I felt as a male, all the mistakes and times that I've hurt people. I went through those and I felt those emotions. Mother Ayahuasca came in and just calmed my spirit. And then that's when she showed me all the feminine energy, how important it is to listen, how important it is to just tap in and be vulnerable. And learn that it's okay to feel, it's okay to cry, it's okay to laugh, it's okay to have fun. But in everything you do, just put the right intentions and find the balance, and you will learn to be your most truest self. And I think, you know, the integration circles are some of the most important moments that I've ever had. I've cried multiple times in those and seen people who have shared the most traumatic stories in their life, and you realize that you're all here, whether you've gone through crazy trauma or not, but you're all here to heal together. And that was the most rewarding, gratifying experience I've ever had.
And the important thing that I think that I've taken away from this is being able to recenter myself, find connections that I felt like I had within me, but there was too much fog and chaos that was covering them up to truly allow me to feel those connections. And that's both with the earth, with people, with communities. If I had to really sum up what this specific place gave to me, I think it gave me a feeling of safety, which allowed me that space to contemplate and to nourish my body, which then allowed me to have that space for my soul to be nourished. That is attributed not only to the staff, to this location, to the facilities, the food, to the people that prepare the food, the intention that seems to go into the preparation of all of those things. And as I mentioned, just the care that is put into the energy of everything that's here.
I could see how hard the facilitators work, really looking after people. You know, I could hear them running around. I can hear people purging and dealing with what they've got going on, but always being looked after by the facilitators. Whether it's physically, whether it's verbally, whether it's mentally, whether it's emotionally, whether it's spiritually, the facilitators can cater for you. The brew, the ayahuasca, is magic. It does its magic, but if it wasn't for the facilitators and that blanket, that security, it wouldn't be the same. It's absolutely integral to the process.
Again, the staff was so supportive. If anybody is afraid of taking a medicine like this because of the stigma behind psychedelic components, there's no safer environment than here. You're surrounded by 10 people who have nothing more to offer than their care and support for you while they're here. And not once did I feel unsafe, not once did I feel unsupported. You felt like you could talk to them about anything. I opened up this week and so did everybody else, and I think we all told stories that I think some of our closest friends and family might not hear. And I said it in integration. I mean, I really felt like this was a family. This was like, I just, everybody felt I felt like one with everybody.
The thing that really struck me about this place was the shamans in particular. It's 40 to 50 years of experience in the Shipibo tradition, and you could really feel that in ceremony.
The shamans, if you were to research ayahuasca, you know that you're really coming to some of the most masterful teachers in the world. The Icaros are incredibly powerful. They're meant for you. It is mystical beyond words and incredibly, incredibly powerful. So when I started to do the research about where I would go, I saw Nameakaya and I chose it because I could sense this powerful authenticity that was happening here. If I was going to do ayahuasca, I wanted to come to the source and I wanted to experience masterful shaman. I wanted to experience the indigenous culture of where the plant comes from and really be able to honor and respect that and experience it. Everything about Nameakaya is authentic in that respect. The ceremonies are very powerful with the shamans. The grounds are amazing, and it just takes you completely out of your usual environment and puts you into the most loving, healing, transformative space I've personally ever been in my life.
This facility, this retreat, this area, the amenities are just right for the experience. All the workshops that we've done, all the breathing exercises that we've done, the meditation workshops, the yoga, the conversations that we've had outside of ceremony, those have all come in handy during the times when we're in it, when we're really deep in the medicine.
People need to see what's going on here. People need to see that what they're told a lot about psychedelics and places like this, that there really is healing happening, and it's like it's faster and it's more profound than anything I've ever seen before. There was, 11 of us this week, and every single person had a positive experience. Not one person was like, oh, I wish I didn't come. Everybody here was like, this is life-changing. Where do you hear that anywhere? You don't hear that very often. Something like that is a very special place to be.
So between the sessions themselves and between the staff, it is the best experience I've ever had in my life for so many different reasons. I can't recommend it enough. I literally cannot recommend this place enough. It is where you want to go to make transformative changes in your life. It's super beautiful, and just the connection to source and the connection to intelligence here is really a real thing. It's intense, and it's so beautiful. It's just so beautiful.
We all came with the level of hesitation and like, what are we doing in the jungle? Are we just in the jungle taking drugs? No, we were not. We were in the jungle taking medicine to heal ourselves, and every single person on this retreat went through profound, transformative changes. And people look different. We all look different. And I guarantee that anyone who takes this step on their journey of healing will be eternally grateful to themselves. You will never meet yourself like you do through this experience. The people are beautiful here, the facilities are amazing, you feel healthy, you feel young. This was by far the best decision I've ever made in my life, and I am so excited about where I'm going to go after this journey, professionally and personally. So just be kind to yourself and get yourself here. Come and experience this for yourself. You won't regret it.